have to start with pharmacovigilance, compliance, and inspections. So pharmacovigilance inspections of marketing authorization holders, MAH, are or any companies providing pharmacovigilance services to MAHs are carried out in order to ascertain whether MAH of human medicinal product comply with the pharmacovigilance obligations established within the European Union and to facilitate the compliance. Okay. So now these pharmacovigilance inspections, they are conducted on on the marketing authorization holders. Okay, so just to confirm that whether the whether the marketing authorization holder which are responsible for manufacturing the human medicinal products, they are working in compliance with the pharmacovigilance obligations or the pharmacovigilance regulations which are established in European Union. So for that, like whether they have the pharmacovigilance activities, so it should not be like this that they have the pharmacovigilance activities on paper only, whether they are conducting those pharmacovigilance activities or not. And in case if they are conducting, then what is the output, what are the result, what are the findings from those pharmacovigilance activities. Okay, so there should be a proper documentation which is made related to these pharmacovigilance activities also. So they should present. So for that purpose, just to go through those documents and to check the softwares or databases which is used by the marketing authorization holder to store the data related to pharmacovigilance. So that for that purpose, the inspections are conducted. Inspections of pharmacovigilance include the following goals: to ascertain that the marketing authorization holder has the staff, systems, and facilities in place to fulfill their pharmacovigilance obligations. So now, so first thing which is checked by in the inspection, that is the marketing authorization holder, they should have adequate, well-trained and experienced staff to conduct the pharmacovigilance activities. Means they should be from the right background. If they must be trained in pharmacovigilance. In case if they are not trained in pharmacovigilance, then there should be a proper training to be provided to them from the company, from the marketing authorization holder. They should have the database or the systems developed, and they should have all the facilities to conduct the pharmacovigilance activities or the pharmacovigilance activities, surveys, whatever they are conducting. They should have a proper documentation done as per the pharmacovigilance regulations. To identify, record, and address non-compliance that may pose a risk to the public health and where deemed necessary. So when the pharmacovigilance inspection is conducted, they can also identify the record, or they also records documents which are made related to pharmacovigilance. Because when the pharmacovigilance activities, not only the pharmacovigilance activities, in the pharmaceutical sector is considered as a highly documented sector, where all the documents are made in hard copy as well as in soft copy till date also. Okay, so everything nowadays is computerized, but in pharma sector, the documents are made in computer system, like in e-documents are made, and also the copies of in hard copy, the documents are also made and they are stored in archival. Okay, and whenever there is any inspection, these documents are to be presented to the inspector. So same is with pharmacovigilance also. Like what are the activities which are planned by the marketing authorization holder? These should be documented. How these pharmacovigilance activities are implemented, how these pharmacovigilance activities are conducted. So all that information should also be shared by the marketing. So all these activities should also be documented by the marketing authorization holder. And so whenever any inspection occurs, so they should present, if asked, they should present those documents to the inspectors. And if there is any compliance, non-compliance related to the pharmacovigilance rules, due to which like any adverse effect can occur, and the marketing authorization holder is not conducting any risk, they do not have any risk minimization activity, or they have those activities only on paper, they are not conducting those activities properly, or they have inadequate staff, or they do not have any facility, so that can also be addressed. To use the inspection result as a basis for enforcement action, and after the inspection occurred, so whatever the result or findings from the inspection, so on the basis of that, the and action can be taken. Okay. Types of inspections. The purpose of pharmacovigilance system inspection is to examine the policies, programs, people, or infrastructure in place to assess how well they adhere to legal pharmacovigilance requirements. Now, the pharmacovigilance, so what is the purpose of pharmacovigilance inspection? That is to examine what are the policies, programs, pharmacovigilance programs, what are the policies which the marketing authorization have had related to pharmacovigilance. Do they have the adequate staff and infrastructure? So and how much they adhere to the legal pharmacovigilance requirements? So for all these, to check all these all this, the pharmacovigilance inspections are conducted. Product specific examples may be used in this review to illustrate how the pharmacovigilance system functions. So instead of conducting a comprehensive system assessment, there are product related pharmacovigilance inspections, so which are largely focused on the pharmacovigilance issues which are related to a specific product. Okay, so if in case to a specific product which is manufactured by a marketing authorization holder, and and for that maybe for that product there are a lot of adverse drug reactions reports which are generated, and there is no report of any action regarding any action which is taken by the marketing authorization holder related to that product. Okay, so inspections can be done related to that product, so that is known as product related inspections. Okay, so largely, so product related pharmacovigilance inspections are largely focused on product related pharmacovigilance issues, including product specific actions and documentation. So in that case, the actions are taken on that product only, like the license for marketing that product can be cancelled, the product can be recalled or withdrawn from the market, or to the excess, the product will be completely banned from the market. Okay, so these are the actions which can be taken by the regulatory authorities while conducting the pharmacovigilance inspections. And the other products which are manufactured by the marketing by that company, they will be unaffected. Okay, they will be unaffected. They are there in the market, they will be sold in the market, so everything will be there, but only that specific product, the action, the documentation will be checked related to that product only, and only the action will be taken on that product. Okay, some general system components might still be checked as a part of product examination. Some general systems can be checked, but maybe the systems which are used for that product, so maybe, so the companies, they do not have product specific softwares or systems, they have a single software for all the products. So maybe in that case the general checking can be done for the other products also, but otherwise the documentation, everything, what are the actions which are taken, that will be product specific. Then inspections that are scheduled in advance as a part of inspection programs are called routine inspections. Now there are certain routine inspections also which are the part of the program, means they are generally conducted yearly, or 1 in 2 years, or once in 5 years, whatever the time duration is followed. So they are known as the routine inspections, or we can say these are the planned inspections. Okay, so although a risk-based strategy may be employed when designing the inspection schedule, there is no particular trigger to start these inspections. So there is no any point like how these, there is no general format like how these inspection will be started, but these inspections are generally risk-based. So if like any product which is manufactured by the company, if very frequently the adverse reactions are being reported about that company, so by informing the marketing authorization holder or that company, the inspection will be scheduled on a particular date, and on that date the inspection will be conducted. So that is a routine inspection. Then when a trigger is identified, then an inspection is deemed to be suitable, deemed a suitable technique to look into a problem for cause inspection is conducted. Now the third type of inspection is for cause inspection, in which if anything which is any issue, any problem occurs, and that triggers a inspection. So as usually the inspection will not be conducted, but now this problem has been identified. So like I said, that in case if a lot of adverse events are reported related to a particular drug which is manufactured by that company, So in that case, only in that case or in that duration only the inspection will be conducted. So before that or after that issue is resolved, no inspection will be there. So that is known as for cause inspection. Okay. Then for the purpose of ensuring the precision and effective operation of the current or future pharmacovigilance system, pre-authorization inspections may be carried out when there is a special reason for concern regarding compliance with rules or guidelines. Pharmacovigilance inspection. Okay, so first we'll discuss about what is pre-authorization inspection. So pre-authorization inspection, they will be like the pre-authorization inspection, so they will be carried out in case to ensure, like before the marketing approval or authorization for marketing is granted. So before that, the pre-authorization inspections are conducted with the purpose that to ensure the precision and the effective operation of the current or future pharmacovigilance system. Means the company, they might have been they might be manufacturing the products earlier also before getting the before getting the authorization for product. Okay, so they might be manufacturing the other products. So what is the pharmacovigilance system for the other products before giving the authorization to a particular drug? So this, the inspections which are conducted, so that is known as pre-authorization inspections. So when there is a special reason for concern regarding compliance with rules or guidelines, pharmacovigilance inspections may be arranged either routinely or in response to a request from another HPRA department or committee. So HPRA is a Health Product Regulatory Authority, means the regulatory authority in an individual company who is regulating the health products or the medicines, drugs. Okay, like in India we have CDSU. So in that case, so like when there is a special reason, when the inspection is done regarding to check that the compliance, the company is doing the pharmacovigilance activities in compliance with the rules and guidelines. So in that case, the pharmacovigilance inspections can be arranged routinely, or in case if any health product regulatory authority or any department or any committee, if they request for any inspection, then in that case the pharmacovigilance inspections will be conducted. And these inspectors are from the regulatory authorities or from maybe from another company. Okay, so these inspectors are from there. So a request for a routine or triggered inspection may also be received from Committee for Human Medicinal Products, CHMP. Okay, so then after that, a request for routine or triggered inspections, means a routine inspection or the triggered or for cause inspections, they are conducted as per the requirement of Committee for Human Medicinal Products, CHMP, which is a committee which comes under EM. Okay, okay. Then notification for inspection. So prior to the anticipated inspection date, the MAH or pharmacovigilance service provider will typically be informed 4 to 6 weeks in advance if necessary. The HPRA maintains the right to give a shorter notice to carry out an unannounced examination. So prior to the date which is decided for conducting any inspection, the marketing authorization holder or the pharmacovigilance service provider, means the company or any third party who is providing the pharmacovigilance services to that company. In those companies also the pharmacovigilance companies, on that companies also the inspections can be conducted. So they will be informed priorly, that is 4 to 6 weeks in advance, in case if the regulatory authority, they want to give, like it is their choice if they want to give a shorter notice to carry out an unannounced examination. So sometimes there is only, they provide only the time of 1 week or 5 days, and then in that 5 days or 1 week, in that short notice, they conduct the inspection. Now, a minimum of 2 weeks prior to the inspection date, the inspectee will typically receive an inspection plan with specifics regarding the time inspection activities will be undertaken and the general areas that will be covered. So generally, the maximum time which is given by the 2 weeks. So like if they have given the time that in 4 weeks we will be conducting the inspection, then after 2 weeks they will give a note, they'll give a list, they'll share the inspection plan with MAH, which specifies that what activities will be conducted during the inspection, at what time these activities will be conducted, and also what are the areas which will be covered. So that full inspection plan will be received by the marketing authorization holder. Then before the inspection, usual requests for information include. So now what are the what are the documents and all what the company or what the inspectors can ask for, okay, and what the documents are to be updated before the inspection. So that is, the pharmacovigilance system master file has been updated. So before the inspection has been conducted, the company, they have their pharmacovigilance system master file, which contains all the details about the pharmacovigilance activities for the drugs, what is the system which they are using, what is the database which they are using, what are the activities they have completed, how these activities are done. So all that information is given in the pharmacovigilance system master file. So it has been updated. Then organizational structure or list of key players in pharmacovigilance activities. So what is the structure of that organization and which departments, the pharmacovigilance department is a separate department, and who are there, like who is the director, who is the manager, what are the projects which are going on in the pharmacovigilance. So all that information is given, also given. Pharmacovigilance system methods and processes that are documented. So what are the pharmacovigilance system methods which are used? What are the processes which are used? So that all is documented. A list of adverse events in line. So line by line for every product, for the product which are manufactured by the company, what are the adverse events which are being reported till date? So that information is given. List of all formal collection methods. So how these adverse effects has been list about the adverse effect, the knowledge about the adverse effect has been collected, what is the information which is collected related to the adverse event. So that all list of the data or whatever methods which are used for collecting the data, so that list of methods is used. Then risk management plan and periodic safety update reports. So RMPs and PSURs are up to date, like till date, what are the RMPs which are submitted and what are the PSURs are submitted. The copy in a file, those PSURs and RMP are presented. Then list of safety signals picked up by the MAH along with pertinent processing dates. So what are the signals or the adverse drug reactions which are reported directly to the drug manufacturer, okay, or to the marketing company, in case if the marketing company and manufacturer are different. In case if they are same, then what are the safety signals which are directly sent to the marketing authorization holder or to the drug manufacturer, and on what dates those cases were processed. So that information is given. Then list of safety modifications that the MAH has filed or that need to be submitted. Then the list of safety notifications, what are the notifications which were filed by the MAH till date, and then after that which are still to be submitted to the regulatory authorities. Then current versions of reference safety material that have been approved, such as patient information leaflets and SMPC, summary of product characteristics. So the current version of the safety materials, RSI, or any document like patient information leaflet or SMPC, they have been updated with new indications, if any new warning has been updated or any new adverse event has been updated. So if any of these documents are updated, so the current version, the latest version of patient information leaflet and SMPC, whenever they are updated, is presented. Okay, so these all the document which are need to be presented before the inspectors. Then inspection conduct. So like how the inspection will be conducted. So an opening meeting is held by the inspectors before the inspection begins to allow them a chance to introduce themselves, outline how the inspection will be conducted, and learn more about the organization that will be under examination. So there will be a meeting which is conducted before the inspection between the inspectors and the designated persons of that organization. Okay, so in that meeting, they will introduce each other, like inspectors will introduce themselves to the organization designatories who are there in the meeting, and the organization organization personnel, they will introduce themselves to the inspector. So there will be an introduction session. After that, they will outline, the inspectors, they will outline to the organization designatories that how the inspection will be conducted, And also they will, if they will have any query related to the organization, generally the organization prepare a presentation about about them. So that presentation is presented if the inspectors allow, or otherwise if in a brief, any person can brief about the organization, and then if the inspectors they have any query related to the organization, so that can also be discussed. Then inspections of pharmacovigilance often include both interview sessions and document reviews. It is possible to take a facility tour as well. So now the inspection of pharmacovigilance, in which the interview sessions can be conducted, like randomly they can call any employee, and then they will conduct the interview of that employee. They can look the documents of that employee also, that whether he or she is trained or experienced enough to conduct the activities what has been assigned to him. And they can also, like when they are going through the document, then also they can call any person who has prepared that document or who has reviewed that document, and they can conduct a document interview also. And also if they are interested, they can also take a facility tour. Preliminary verbal input on the inspection, including flaws, is given to the inspectees during the closing meeting on the last day of the inspection. During the closing flaws, or if there is something missing, or if anything which is not according to the regulation if going on in the company, so that can be informed earlier also to the inspectees. Okay, and that can also be discussed in the closing meeting, which is at the last day of the inspection. Means if the inspection is conducted for 3 to 4 days, then at the last day of the inspection that communication can also be done. Then grading of the findings. So how the grading is done: deficiency found during inspections are graded as follows. Critical: a weakness in pharmacovigilance systems, methods, or processes that has a negative impact on patient rights, safety, or well-being, that could pose a risk to the public health and to the public's health, or that reflects a major infraction of the rules and regulations that are in place. So now the major the deficiency which are found during the inspections are it is considered as critical if there is a weakness. If they found there is a weakness in the pharmacovigilance system or in the pharmacovigilance methods by which they are conducting their pharmacovigilance activities, or the process, if they are using any process which have any negative impact on the patient rights, safety, and well-being, which can also pose a risk onto public health. And if there is any major obligation or major revocation or like deviation from the rules and regulations that are being followed. Okay, so that type of flaw considered as a critical. So that type of deficiency is considered as critical. Then major. So major are a flaw in pharmacovigilance system, methods, or processes that might negatively impact patient rights, safety, or well-being, or that might potentially endanger the public's health, or that might violate the rules and regulations that are in place. So major is a flaw if there is any flaw or any shortcoming in the pharmacovigilance system, processes, and all, and which can also danger the public health, and also that might violate the rules and regulations that are in place, but not at as that is reported in the, but they are not very much, they are just the starting. So that is considered as a major. So my critical means when that same thing has been repeated for years, but major that something is up to the mark but the other things are not, they have just started, so that is considered as major. Then minor means a shortcoming in pharmacovigilance system, methods, or processes that unlikely to have a negative impact on patient rights. Like if there is any shortcoming in the pharmacovigilance system, methods, or process, but that will not have any negative impact on patients' rights, safety, or well-being, or they can maybe they will not endanger any public health, and now they can be there is a shortcoming, but that can be revised or that can be updated. Okay, so this is how the grading can be given to the findings as critical, major, and minor. Okay, understood? Is it clear? The next is the inspection report. So like the inspection, when the inspection is completed or it is completed, then the inspection report is made depending upon what are the findings. So the company receives a written report detailing any faults found following the inspection. If at all possible, the HPRA tries to issue this within 15 calendar days of the finish of the inspection. So within 15 calendar days, whatever flaws are there, which are found, or whatever faults are there which are found during the inspection, so that will be reported to the company within 15 calendar days after the finish of the inspection. The response to the shortcomings listed in the inspection report must be given by the inspectee by the deadline given in the inspection report. Typically, this occurs 35 days following the final day of the inspection. These responses will be examined by the inspectors to see if they are appropriate. Now to the shortcomings, whatever the shortcomings are. So for just to overcome that shortcomings, what will be the actions which are taken by the inspectees or by the company, if they have any explanation to it, so that will be given or that will be submitted to the regulatory authorities on the or within that deadline which is mentioned in the inspection report. Okay, so they always mention the deadline. In case, so generally the deadline which is provided, that is for 35 days following the final day of the inspection. And then whatever the responses which are answered or which are reported by the submitted by the inspectees or the organization where the inspection was conducted. So these responses will be examined by the inspector to see if they are appropriate or not. The inspectors will give the company written notice if they more answer updates or clarifications are necessary. The inspection may be concluded even after receiving the satisfactory report responses. In case after receiving the responses, if the inspectors they are not satisfied with the answers, then they can ask for more clarifications also. And the inspections which were done, that will only end or will be concluded only after receiving the satisfactory responses from the inspectees. Okay, the EMA and other parties will be made aware of any major or critical findings in inspection reports. Okay, so in case if there are some critical findings or some major findings in the critical report, so that will be informed to the European Medical Agency. Okay, and what is the inspection outcome? To make sure that they are brought into conformity, MAS and service provider who receive critical findings or multiple major findings may be inspected more regularly. The HPRA may take additional measures in cases where substantial non-compliances are found, especially if they are persistent. Okay, so now in case if the MAH or the service providers, they have the critical findings or they have multiple major findings reported in the inspection report, so maybe they will be inspected again and again or on a regular basis. Or in case if required, the health product regulatory authority, they may also take the additional measures in cases where there are substantial non-compliances which are found, and especially if these non-compliances are continued, they are consistent, and the MAH or service provider is not doing anything to overcome those non-compliances, or they are just on paper, on actual there is nothing which is done. Okay,